complete quite a comprehensive way of doing your work, either in terms of plans, or sections, and so on and so on. But as for this coming Thursday, no, sorry, this coming Thursday, Thursday ke Monday ah? She not come back from the
Monday,
toilet.
Monday.
Monday ya, Monday. So Thursday tak ada class eh? Tak ada ya?
Thursday ni tak ada.
Tak ada,
Kan
okay.
tengah cuti.
Oh, okay. Right. So, how am I going to start this? Right. There are two folder of slides of presentation drawing that I would like to talk to you about this afternoon, and hopefully it can address most of the issues, most of the things that you need to know with regards to how to do, how to prepare, and how to present your drawings. Usually, either in architecture or landscape, we call the final drawings as presentation drawings, right? Which means it's a final drawing. Right? You can call it final drawings, or you can call it final presentation drawings, or you call it presentation drawing. But it means the same. Okay. So that's why I'm using the word presentation drawings, or in this case, landscape presentation drawings. So I'm talking about the graphics of it. So what is graphic? Which is what you're doing, which is what all of you are doing. You're drawing things on a piece of paper, blank paper. You're putting in some items, some elements, some lines to indicate something, to represent something. Right? So in this case, the graphic that you're doing is a form of visual art. You're trying to give a visual demonstration. You try to give a visual indication. You try to give a visual expression of what you're trying to do, or what you're trying to design, or what you're trying to show. Right? And remember, when you draw something, even when you draw a simple tree, for example, it's not just simply a tree that you want to tell people, but maybe there's something else that you want to show in that tree, for example. Maybe in terms of the character of the tree, maybe something symbolic about that tree. Remember, every single item it's not just simply an object, but there's other many layers behind what you see. For example, when you see a coconut tree, you just see a coconut tree, but there's something else in the coconut tree. For example, people see the leaf, the way the wind blows, for example, and how the trees will move, will sway from one side to the other, and the noise that it makes, for example, and the hardiness of the trunk of the coconut trees, for example. So these are characters which you need to draw, which you should try to show as much as possible. So graphic is not just simply drawing a man and that's it. A tree, that's it. Drawing a pool, and that's it. No, but there must be character. That's why when I say when I draw on all of your work this morning, right, and also this afternoon, it's trying to give you some kind of an idea and some kind of visual appreciation, not just simply a visual objective nature of what you show, right, but something which means something artistic about it, something meaningful about it, something symbolic about it, and so on and so on. You understand that? So it's not just simply drawing for the sake of drawing, but drawing to give information, drawing to give an impression. Understand, everyone?
Yes.
Right? So if you draw a tree, people said it's like a tree is like any other tree. But in your case, let's say for example in your site, right? So you draw all this common tree, all around the edge of your garden. But suddenly the one in the middle, for example, is a special tree. So you need to draw that in a very careful and very, very expressive to show that it's a special tree. Don't draw the tree like you find any tree that you find anywhere in the same drawing, but show that there's a different quality to that tree, either in terms of the line work, in terms of the rendering, in terms of the coloring, in terms of the texture of that tree. So it looks different from the rest of the tree, right? So in other words, it's not just simply trying to show that it is tree, but it's something also another meaning to that tree, another information to that tree. You understand that, everyone? So don't just draw a circle. Then they just simply draw wiggly lines to indicate shrub. Shrubs can be drawn in so many ways, and shrub has got different characters as well. Especially when you draw things at 150 scale, you can show a bit of detail. Some people can even draw some. They put some. Let's say, for example, a shrub is all green, but they put some yellow dots in the shrub, for example, to indicate that the flowers of the shrub are in yellow, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, guys, understand that? Please can get a response,
Yes.
please.
Yes,
Yes. Yes,
I
Please
Eden.
understand.
respond to what whenever I ask a question, so that I know you understand, and also to keep me
Yes.
awake, and
Okay.
also to make sure
Yes.
that you are also awake. Please, this is very very important, right? So graphics are visual images of design on some surface such as wall, canvas, and etc. So in this case, we are drawing it on a piece of paper of A3 size, right? To illustrate, to entertain, for example, yeah, and so on, right? So when I look at your work, for example, this morning when I see some of the good work, I'm entertained. I'm excited. I see because the drawing is so good, it's so informative. I also begin, I happen able to read the meaning behind what's drawn. I'm able to see that, you know, it's all because, for example, like the structural line, for example. I'm able to see that, even without me drawing. I'm drawing that for the sake of your understanding why she didn't put this and why she didn't put that. Because I want to draw that line. But when I and Dr. Anna sees the work, we can see that. So we are excited. We are amused. We found that we can connect with your drawing, for example, because it's well drawn, very informative, and so on and so on. Because it's like a piece of art. It's like a piece of art. All right. So it has to be like that. So this is one example, but of course this is a very, very big master plan. This is a master plan, right? If a small scale, for example, you can call it site plan. So in your case, just call it a site plan. Don't call it a master plan. Master plan are for very, very big projects, for example. So this is the kind of coloring present technique in terms of quality, in terms of information, and so on and so on. Right? So this is how you should need to do it. I'm not sure what technique. Maybe this is watercolor, maybe that this particular person has done. But you look at the neatness of it. Okay, before you see this line here, this one here. Can you see my cursor here, everyone?
Yes, yes.
That is to indicate that there's a small. They call it a mound, MOUND. That's how you do it. But in your case, don't worry about this one. We'll talk about that later. I don't confuse you. Right? Why is it drawn like that? Don't worry. Don't ask me now. All right? Okay,
Okay.
and so on and so on, please. So something like that. If you can produce like this graphically, you're well on your way to be a good designer, or something like that. Right? So this is something like that. Right? See, different trees, different line. So this here, these lines here, okay, so many information here. You see this, where you see my cursor is, where my cursor is under
Yes,
the,
yes,
okay,
yes.
that one is not, that is grass, but this is show the slope of the hill. This is grass. This is grass, maybe flat on the ground. Okay, but this could be grass, but it is whole. This is showing it's on a slope. That's why it's drawn like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But in your case, you don't have, so don't have to worry about that. Maybe when you go to your second year, maybe when it's slope, then you draw it like that. But if it's flat, this is one way. Like remember when I draw for someone this now, you can draw the grass like this. You draw it with line, and then maybe then the very simple coloring, and that's it. Okay. Okay, this one here, you said, but then here the footpath is not double line. Okay, you know why? Because maybe this is a natural footpath. There's no aging. There's no age to the footpath. Or is that double line?
No, it's single.
Single line. Okay, then it's a natural footpath. There's no boundary element. There's no concrete or brick at the edge, right? Okay. This is an example. These are very very good professionally done drawing. All right. But here it's not a very complete drawing, isn't it? But here because there's no name of spaces, so you don't do that. You have to name the spaces. All right. Yeah. This is some kind of a title block maybe. This is some kind of a title block. I can't make it any larger for you to see. But this is some kind of title block. I'm quite sure in all the other drawings of this particular project, they would have all the same format for a title block for all the drawings. Okay. All right. We come now to another part of your drawing which we expect you to present coming Monday is what we call a section drawing. SECTIOM. SECTION, a section drawing. This is an example of a section drawing. A section drawing is where you cut through the site. Where you cut through the site, right? So for example, if I take this one here, you cut through the site. You cut through. I better go to Miro maybe. Kan Ana kan?
Boleh.
Better go to Miro better. I'll show an example. Okay, let's say I take this project. So a section is
We can't see anything.
oh sorry, you can't see.
Oh, sebab
sorry.
Yeah.
dia kena
I'm going to
share.
Myro.
Okay, everyone terus masuk my room. Everyone please go into my room because you
Okay.
can see from there.
Okay, I'm at
Okay.
Alif's drawing. Alif is at frame
Yeah. Yeah.
73. Okay, right. So if I take this as the final plan, not the schematic plan. Okay, assuming that this is the side plan. Okay, so I want to draw a section. Normally, when we draw a section, we draw two sections, minimum two sections. When we draw a section, that means we are drawing a section that cuts through the. Okay, I'll give you an example. Looking for the pen. Okay, that means we are cutting through the side. Let's say I want to cut through the middle here, right? Or I want to cut through this way, right? Now,
Right.
which side? It's up to you. If I want to, if I cut through this side here, if I want to show that, I want to show if I'm standing here, right? I want to see what's going on the other side. So I would draw my arrow or these two lines like that, which shows that cutting side but looking that way, right? I would call this A, right? If I cut this way, if I want to show that side, I will do the same thing this way, visiting Myro Hero, please move, right? And I put this as maybe B, maybe it's looking which side? This way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, okay. But the way to draw this section line on plan is not like this. The way to draw is this way. It's this way. Okay? It should be a short line like that. So this is A. Okay? Don't draw the whole way around. The whole way through. Okay, everyone understand that?
Yes.
Really.
Okay, let me draw this again. My line is very bad. So the same line, but draw it this way. Short, only short. Okay, and then put here A. But draw it like this. Right? So I don't want it to be like this. It has to be like that. Because we don't want the red line here, to spoil the drawing inside. Understand? Understand?
Yes, teacher.
Right?
Yes.
So instead of drawing the straight line for BB, right? I take this one out. Very poor. Right? I'll just draw a simple line. Sorry. Just like that. Okay, everyone?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Here, so what does this, sorry? So this means here, this is looking when you cut through the side. And this one is looking that way when you cut through the side, right? So let's say, for example, I've cut, I'm cut here. See, when I cut through here, when I'm looking that way, that means I cannot show the shelter, isn't it?
Exactly.
The shelter is behind you, isn't it?
Yeah. So we will show only the half right
What's
side.
in front, isn't it? Not at the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
So but if you think that the shelter is very, very important, right? Very, very important. So maybe you said, okay, maybe I don't like the way the BB should be drawn. The BB should be drawn. The section line should be drawn this way, so that it can look that side. Then they can see the shelter. Understand, everyone? Understand?
Yeah.
Please respond.
Understand.
Yes.
Yes.
So means that
Yes.
Sorry?
I would like is I want to ask. So means that I would like we can outside the drawing, right? We
Yeah,
cannot
yeah,
draw.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Then I want to ask our line should in the center or we can like draw here can or not?
Sorry?
Not in the center. The line, the
Like-
section line.
Huh?
If you do draw in the center, is it acceptable?
No,
You mean
it
that
is not,
do we
but this, it is
have
what
to
you
draw
must
it in
do.
the
You must
center?
do. You must do. You don't, but you
Oh.
should not have any line in between.
I see.
So
So it should
means that
only
I
be
only can draw in the center lah.
No line in the center.
Huh?
No line
No,
in the
teacher,
center.
she's asking that can we adjust? So, like, if I want to draw something, maybe
No,
a little bit
straight line,
on
straight
top.
line, straight line.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
straight
have-
line. My meaning
This
is
compulsory.
my question is now Justin gives the example is line B at here, A at
Yeah.
here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm asking if I draw another line at C I here can or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not in the center of the paper.
It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be in the center. It doesn't have to be in the center. Your
Okay.
AA, BB can also be here. You know. Your A can
Be
also be
anywhere
here.
as long as
Doesn't
you
matter.
want to show your
Yeah.
features.
Yeah. Which one is the
Okay,
best
okay.
that you can show?
Okay.
And your BB doesn't have to be here. Your BB also can be here.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be in the center.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I know.
But there not should not be a central line. That's what I don't want.
Mm.
Right? Some people they try to be funny. They try to be different. What they do they do diagonally. Very difficult to do that. You can if you really want to. I don't want let's not confuse things. Just go for horizontal and vertical. Okay, everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
So when you draw this, okay, when you alright. So when you cut the section, make sure that everything that you cut through. Let's say I'm cutting through this way here. This BB looking that way. Make sure everything that you cut through. Let's say you cut through. When you cut through the line, it has to be a thick line. This one is through the ground, isn't it?
Yep.
Right. So the line must be thick. Right. Whatever that you don't cut, don't draw a thick line. For this shelter here, right? That I'm trying to show. Then show the shelter, but not in a thick line. Is there a table there? All right. And behind there you can see some shrubs, isn't it? True?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then draw the shrubs in the back. What else? You see the patio there. Patio is on the right hand. So patio is slightly higher. Maybe something like that. That's the patio. Maybe the handrail there. Maybe. I think there. I think is there a palm tree around behind the patio? But the palm tree seems a bit small. Okay, let's see. It's a palm tree. So there are 3 palm trees. So I'll draw the 3 palm trees there. 1, 2, 3. Right, and so on. And then if this is the end of the page, then this is there, and you just stop there. Right, and then under that drawing you put there section. Section is that BB, I think. Okay, section B. Okay, everyone.
Okay.
So the only thick line is only at the bottom. Because cutting through the earth, isn't it? So that's the only thick line that you do. Try not to cut through the shelter. Try not to cut through anything. Just cut through the earth. Because you cut through the shelter, you can do that by Very, very complex. Very complex. Okay, understand everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, bro.
understand.
Okay. Difficult online to teach this one here, really. For example, I cannot draw on this one here. Very difficult. Right? So here, this is not a very good drawing. You see the drawing on the ground. It's not thick, isn't it?
Yes.
It should be thick, isn't it? Because why? Anyone answer? Why it should be thick? These lines here, why should it be thick? Why?
Actually, cutting it.
Yes, because you cut through the earth, you cut through the soil, and because it's called this is a wall, and the wall also should be thick. In this case, what you can do sometimes you can also darken the wall or thick lines to show that the wall. This is called the wall that you're cutting through, and also the earth, right? You see, but what's behind is all fine. It's like you actually you seeing the tree in its real form, real shape, real colors. You're not cutting through the trees. Don't cut any through trees in the shelter. Okay, guys, don't worry. Try it. That's why I said when it comes on Monday, start just draw it with black and white. Don't worry about trying to color it. Make sure we make sure that you have the right way of doing it, drawing it. Okay, the same thing also here. Here is quite okay there because you see the thick lines there.
Yes.
That's the way to do it. This is a very good example. So what's behind that is all drawn with just like you draw a painting. But this is only 2D drawing. Let's like you're 2D. You're standing right in the middle, right? You can get this 2D. No, not standing in the middle. It's like you're seeing you have 20 set of eyes. Because if you're standing in the middle, that means you can see perspective, isn't it? True?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like that. This is for a newcomer like yourself. For example, you how can you see everything in 2D when you're moving from left to right or you're standing in the middle? But this is what we call section drawing. This is just a graphic, right? For example, you look at the top, thick lines. But when you cut through the pond, don't draw thick line for the water. People will be confused. Even though you're cutting through the water, but water is a very, very, refined element. So don't thick the lines. Okay, like for example here, right? You can see the pool here.
Yes.
Even though you're cutting through the water, but don't do that. Just make it like a normal line. Okay, right? So any questions?
No problem.
No question.
I'm quite sure when you look through the examples in the internet, you'll be able to figure out what actually is all about. There's some variations between what I just said and what other people have done. Right? But this, I would like you to familiarize yourself with this term. We call it convention. Convention is a kind of an accepted idea and accepted way of drawing or doing certain things. That's what convention means. So what I just mentioned to you now is what we call conventions of drawing. Right? Convention is something that is what most people would follow. It's like a system, if you like, and a great way of doing things, and a great way of drawing things. That's what convention means. That's why when people say, "Oh, your design is very conventional," that means it's biasa. It's not ordinary, isn't it? That's what convention word comes from. But we don't want your design to be conventional. But we expect your drawing to follow conventions. But your design should not be conventional. Your design should be unique, decent, exceptional. Okay, so be careful about the word conventional and convention. Let me speak this in Malay, right? Convention maknanya perkara-perkara yang telah diterima ataupun telah dipersetujui secara amnya oleh ramai orang. Bagaimana kita nak membuat satu benda. Convention maknanya. Tapi kalau conventional maknanya biasa. Conventional drawing, conventional way of teaching, conventional way of talking. We don't want that. We don't want the conventional. We want the uniqueness. Kita nak benda-benda yang baik. We don't want something benda yang unik dalam design ya. Tapi convention kena ada. Sebab when you draw something, people from the other side who have the same convention will be able to understand what you're drawing, what you're doing. Right? Everyone? People
Right.
follow the convention. People, let's say, for example, in Sheffield, where I learned, where I used when I did my masters in landscape architecture, the way they would draw the tree, the way they would draw the section, it should be the same or similar to way that people in UTM also draw the section. So when they look at UTM's drawing, they can understand that because we follow the convention. And when we look at Sheffield's work, students' work, we can understand because why? Because they follow our convention of drawing things. They draw the thick line for the section, they have the north point, and so on and so on. That's what convention means. So you should follow as much as possible this convention. Sometimes in UTM, they have one or two things which is different from other universities, but that one usually is very, very few. But the general convention is usually practiced in many places, agreed by many people.
Okay.
Right, okay. Oh, I'm tired. I'm an old man. Oh dear. Okay, dear. Tak apa. Never mind.
But energetic old man, Cik Din.
Energetic old man.
But you are energetic old man.
I'm not energetic. Siapa dekat ni? Siapa nama ni? Alif ya? Alif,
Ya,
saya
Alif.
bukan energetic old man, tapi saya itu saya mengaku.
Passion.
Saya boleh that's the word. That's the
Passionate.
word. Passionate old man.
Person. Yeah. I like you.
Because I enjoy my work. I believe in what I say. I believe in what I do. That's why I'm trying to pass that to everyone. That's the difference. Kalau energetic old man, saya dah lagi padang ni, clean dah 4-5 round dah. Tapi kan nak turun tangga pun lemah dah. Tapi but I'm passionate. Yeah, bukan I'm just sitting down saja ni. Tapi I have to shout. I have to raise my voice. I have to put all my passion. I put my feeling in what I say. Ini bila saya cakap pun saya tangan pun gini-gini apa semua. Muka saya berubah, mata saya macam mata apa. That's the way to do it tau. And the same way you should have with you. You lagi lah. You energetic and also passionate. Lagi. Double daripada saya. Kan Alif kan?
Thank you, Cik Din.
No, ni Allah jangan kita. Ini saya nak I'm just sharing with you what Allah has given to me. Saya cuba menyampaikan apa Allah telah bagi pada saya. Bukan hak saya. Ini adalah hak Allah dan hak you juga. That's why I have to do it. I have to be honest and have to be passionate and have to give as much as I can so that everyone can get as much possible as information that Allah has given to me so that I can share it with you. To me, that's very most important thing really. And if you can follow that, alhamdulillah. That's why I'm like that. Because I want everyone to do it very, very well. Because I don't want it to be because usually sometimes I take things personal. In other words, something doesn't do well. It could be a reflection of way me and Dr. Hannah has been teaching you. We don't want that. Hopefully not. Okay, anyone? Okay, I'm not talking something else. All right. Okay, I'll share this. I'll share you another set of drawing. Okay. Detail plan. So this is another form of slide, but very similar to what I've just talked to you about just now. I'm just talking about detail plan. Remember I told you this morning, when there's a difference between a master plan, a site plan, and a detail plan.
Yeah.
Okay. A master plan when you have a very, very big project, like one whole city, one whole village, for example, one whole housing area, for example. You need to do a master plan, and the house looks very, very small. Because the scale needs to be very, very big, one to 500, one to 1,000. You're working with 150, so you can see that stone paving that you draw, isn't it? But with master plan, you cannot draw the stone. So it's so small. It's like one single dot on the plan because the scale is 1/500, not 1/50, right? So in your case, because you are doing 150 scale, we just call it a site plan. A site plan. Okay. Now, what is a detailed plan? A detailed plan is when you certain parts in the 1:500 scale which you cannot show because it's so big. You want it the 1:500 scale or 1:1000 scale. You want to make it to a 1:50 scale. So you're going to have big papers of paper, big size paper to draw all the details. No, what we do, we pick sections in the master plan, then we draw a detailed plan. A detailed plan is like a blow-up plan.
Sorry, are you sharing anything?
Master plan. Sorry?
Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, I'm not.
No,
Oh.
we cannot see anything.
Dia semua diam je. I thought I shared it with it already. Never mind. Oh, okay. Sorry, my mistake. Sorry. Okay, this one here, right?
Okay,
Uh,
you can see it now.
so can someone understand what I just said just now?
No.
Right. So,
Kind of.
so 3 types of drawing: master plan, site plan, detail plan. Master plan is when you have a very big project, one whole city, one whole village, one whole university, for example, right? And the scale is very, very 1:500, 1:1000. You're working 1:50 scale. That's why when you draw when you draw 1:50 scale, actually draw the paving stone, isn't it? So it's quite big, isn't it? One is 500. It's only probably a dot in the plan if it's 1:500 scale, right? So a detailed plan is where you pick certain part of the master plan and then you draw a detailed plan, which is maybe then you can draw to 150. We just want some parts of the area because you cannot show the whole area. Understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me go back. Let me go back to this. Let me go back to this one here. It's very important in types of drawings. Okay. Maybe like this one here. This is a very big plan, isn't it? Very big plan, isn't it? Everyone, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't see the scale here. Let's say this is 1:1000, right? So if you try to draw the paving, the stone on this plan, you are bluffing because you cannot draw that because so small, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? So here this is like a space planning. You can only see the spaces, isn't it? Right. So but Jaden, so how do you want to show the contractor? How do you want to show the lecturer? What does this space? What is this plan like? So what do? You take one portion, one part of the plan. You take one part of the plan, or you take one portion of the plan, and then you draw a detail of the plan. From 1:500 or 1:1000 to 1:100 or 1:50. And then you take another section of the master plan, draw that. Take another section of the plan, draw it up, blow it up, blow it up. So that's the difference between a master plan and a detailed plan. Okay, everyone?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, Jaden.
Now, a site plan is similar. A site plan is similar to a detailed plan. Sorry, a site plan is similar to a master plan in terms of its convention and things like that, right? But usually it's for small projects, like for example, like a house, maybe a bungalow, for example, maybe for a little school. Site plan is okay.
Like us.
Sorry?
Like us.
Like
Like our
yeah.
project.
Yeah, site plan, right? But a detailed, when you have a site plan, the similarity between the site plan and the detailed plan and the master plan is that what you see from the top, you only show the roof.
Yeah.
All right, but the slide here shows it doesn't show the roof; it shows the inside, isn't it?
Yes,
Right. Sometimes you can do that if it's very, very important. But usually the convention is when you draw a master plan or a site plan, you only show the roof. Okay?
Jaden,
Yeah.
I want to ask, the master plan or the site plan, it is necessary to have legends or just label it?
It's up
on
to
the-
you. When you have so many spaces, it's better to do a legend,
Okay.
isn't it? But if you only have a few, for example, like your first project here, your third project, come on, you only got 4 or 5 spaces. Legend, don't have to do the legend. Just draw it on the draw itself. Understand?
Yes.
All right. So now coming back to what you said now. So the similarities between a site plan, master plan is where what you see from the top is the same whether it's site plan or master plan. You only show the roof. Okay, everyone understand that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the top we show the roof.
Yeah. But in this case, Jaden here is showing the inside of the building. Fine. So this one is not following the convention. But there must be a reason he did that. I do not know. But convention says you would have a roof on the building. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I think the reason behind what he had decided to take the roof off from this master plan because he wants to show the connection between the internal spaces and the outside spaces.
Yeah, but then it becomes detailed plan.
Sorry? Yeah,
Then it
it's a
becomes
following
detailed
detailed
plan.
plan, but this case is not detailed plan. This is master plan. When
Yeah.
you only show the roof, but maybe
Yeah,
maybe the designer decided to say, I want to remove the roof because I want to show to people how the outside space looks like that because it's connected to what the internal space is like.
Mm.
Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. sometimes you can do that, but you must. If let's say if you decide to do this in your when you go to your third and fourth year, and they say, "It's far. Why are you doing this? This is not convention." I give us a reason. It's not wrong, you know. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. But we want to know the reason because the conventions you need to set. You need to put the roof. But this case, this master plan is far. Why do you have a roof? Give me a reason. Maybe they will say because I want to show how the spaces outside is connected with the internal spaces. For example, let's say outside here, this is the very good space. Here is the lobby, for example, or in the dining area or the living area. That's why you have to have very good landscape, for example, to show the connectivity. You know, something like give a reason. This is not wrong. This is not right. But we should know what the conventions are. Normally, master plan, site plan, you only show the roof. Okay, everyone?
Okay, Cik Din.
Okay, Cik Din.
Faham.
All right. Okay. All right. Phew, I'm shouting.
Take a sip of water.
Apa dia?
Take a sip of water first.
Apa
You are
dia?
thirsty. Take a sip of water first.
Don't worry. I've got drinks all around me. I'm in my own room. All right. Okay. I'll share again the second slide which I was talking to you about. Ini baru first page tadi ni. Slide ni. Right. So, but in your case, because your site is drawn with a 150 scale, which is like a detailed plan scale, you know,
Yes.
right? So in your case, you still call it a site plan, right?
Okay.
But the convention, you can follow a detailed plan convention. What I mean by that, because you know but today if it's a site plan, I don't have to. I only show the roof, isn't it, for my shelter?
Yes. Yes.
Right? By this case, for some of you, but today this is 150 scale. We don't have a detailed plan. We're going to have a site plan. I want to show something under the shelter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you remove the roof. You can do that. If in portfolio there they said Esfar, why this is a site plan? Why you don't show the roof? Then you can explain to her. And they say, if they listen to your reason, it's fine. It's not wrong. Understand that one, please? Understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Understand.
Everyone, can I hear everyone say yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Cik Din.
Okay, Ana, you take over Ana, saya letih. Aduh. So what is a detailed plan? It's a visual, meaningful interpretation of the design concept or the master plan. Visual, meaningful interpretation. In other words, it's like when you see the master plan or site plan, it looks like spaces, isn't it? It doesn't look like places. Because you just see colored and some trees that look like just circles here and there. But when it comes to detailed plan, you want to know what tree that you draw in your master plan or your site plan, isn't it? Because you cannot draw that in a very good way to show what tree that one is. Just draw a circle, isn't it? But detailed plan, you need to draw visually, a visual interpretation, also a meaningful interpretation. That's why I said just now, you just simply draw a tree, but draw a tree which has certain meaning. What is it? Is it large tree? Is it broad leaf tree? Is it rough textured tree? And so on and so on. Right? That's what the detailed plan is. So in your case, it's a mix of both. A detailed plan and a site plan. So because your scale is 1:50. Normally site plan is 1:200, 1:250. So it's a bit big. Right? But in your case, it's 150. 150 sorry, is already a detailed plan scale. Okay? So it is a platform to highlight all the physical elements that you showed in your master plan. All the things that you showed in your master plan needs to be shown. People want to know what is it. So that's why you pick certain sections of the master plan and you blow it up into a detailed plan. Let's say they see a little dot in your master plan. They say, what the hell is the little dot? You pick that area and you draw it up. Oh, the detail, that little dot is a column. It's a fountain. In your detailed plan, you can show that. Okay, everyone.
Okay.
Okay, Cik Din.
Alright.
Oh, this is what I mean by conventions. When your conventions, you must be thinking about the clarity, how clear the drawing is, the levels. In this case, I don't want to confuse you. I'll talk about these levels the next project. Connectivity between elements. For example, how do you link one space and the other? For example, you see sometimes when people draw, let's say for example between your shelter and your footpath, your shelter is right in the middle of the lawn, right? And your footpath is away from the shelter. So that means people walk on the grass, to get to your lawn, to get to your shelter from the footpath? It's not right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
You
not
might be
right.
walking on the grass and your grass will be spoiled. So you need to draw what is needed to be drawn, isn't it, to show that connection? Right?
Yeah.
If some steps, for example, then show the steps. Right? Don't worry about levels. Don't worry about levels. I don't want to confuse. Too much information, right? But I'll talk about this for your next project. Because I don't think any one of you. Oh yeah, you have levels in on your side, but don't worry about that one first. You draw the side level. When for those who got steps in your side, I will explain what you need to do. But I don't want to confuse you now. So I don't think everyone has levels. And then line thickness. I've talked about this just now also. Lines about line thickness. So see, normally when you draw a side plan or a detail plan, you show the internal. Right? In this case, for example, in your case, because it's 150 scale, your side plan can also show the internal. But you see, this is a detailed plan. Right? And this is how you would do it. Right? You draw the basic outline of the spaces, basic outline of the material. This is how you would do it. Then little by little, you start adding things inside, for example. You put your shelter, putting your footbridge and things like that, and so on and so on and so on. Right? I'll give the slides to you later on. Right? I want to go this quite briefly. See, and then start putting little things in, little by little. Put more detail. See, even here, for example, the shrubs here by the pool here, you can see will be more detail. There's a mixture of purple, yellow flowers, for example, I think. Right? Here and so on. On this pergola, they got some climbers, right? And so on. So it's getting more detail. Even the texture of the footpath of this floor pattern also it's got texture already. Grass got texture, the footpath and things like that. But here, the detailed plan here, it's not showing the inside of the shelter, isn't it? So in a way, it's wrong, isn't it? True?
Yeah.
Right? But some people they say there's nothing exciting about the roof. What's the point? They just put a roof. You can do that. It's strange, isn't it? You can show the internal of the building, but don't show the internal of the shelter, isn't it? But they said that apart from four columns and the floor, what's the big deal? Don't have to show that, isn't it? Just show the roof. But the space of the room inside maybe is important to him because he wants to show the connectivity between the living room here, family room here with the outside element. Maybe the kitchen here, maybe for example, I don't know. Kitchen is sitting on this side here. I don't know. But what is it? Right? It's up to you. So I'm saying that it's not a golden rule that you must follow. We want to know your reasoning. Okay. But this is a master plan, very very big. Or maybe no. This is a side plan. I think this is a side plan. This is a side plan. So you can start putting in elements like this. For example, like writing, for example, what tree. You can do that, but make sure that it's done in very very careful way, very very orderly way, so that it doesn't mess up your drawing. Okay. Right. I'll share the slide with you later on after this. Something like that. Right? Very clear, simple drawing, very, very informative, very, very meaningful. Where it has certain character, for example, the shape, the trees, all this kind of thing needs to be there. Right? When you draw the palm tree has a certain character. When you draw the trees, it has a certain character. And also, not just simply draw a tree with a circle and a dot in the middle. No, don't do that. You see, there's a difference in this tree, different in that tree, different in this tree, different in that tree, different in this tree. So many trees. Even the palms, they look different. And so on and so on. Right? Another way of doing it, something like that. Ini siapa tadi macam Farhana tadi ya? Tadi apa ni? Iya kan? Apa ni Ratana?
Yang straight tu
Yang straight tadi tu. Farhana, siapa lagi?
Kok Ming Hui.
Kok Ming Hui, Farhana, something like that. Something like this, yeah. Something like this. This is a section drawn freehand. You see thick lines. What is not cut through remains just like normal lines. But what's cut through, for example, cut through the spawn and earth, for example, is a thick line. But the water is not thick lines. It's just the earth. Maybe he cut through whatever is sitting on that also has to be thickened. Maybe I'm not sure what that is. Okay, something like that. Okay, don't worry about this one. I'll talk about this one later on. Or maybe. Okay, since we are here, I might as well talk about it. So what you have done, what you've drawn so far until here is all in 2D, isn't it, everyone? Agreed?
Yes. Agree.
2D.
Yes.
Yeah.
But today we want to
Yeah.
see
Yes.
3D like what you did for the second project, right? So what you do then is where you start playing with images.
Perspective.
People call it perspective, some people call it images, sketches, whatever. This is what it looks like. So this is even more exciting, isn't it? Oh, but the plans is like this, section is like this, but I'm still to look at the 3D quality. This is what it looks like. Are you guys scared already?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll teach you a very simple method how to do this when the time comes. Don't worry. Okay? So now just concentrate on your site plan and also your section. Don't worry about the images first. Okay, don't worry. I'll teach you how to do it in a very simple way. Still, but still can be good, right? Don't worry. Because we don't expect everyone to have a very good technique. Don't worry, right? Or something like that. I'll give you a thought because it's not because there's so many things to be thought about, but I can simplify it for you. Don't worry. You can be professional as these people when I give you a talk on this one, how to draw perspective, how to draw images, how to draw sketches. And you can do that. You can do that. Don't worry, inshallah. Thank you very much, everyone. Any questions?
Nadine, I want to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so later on when we will do this on a A3 paper, right?
Yeah.
So the section, for each page, do we only draw one section?
One plan in one paper and two sections in one paper.
Come again. Again.
One plan on one paper, two sections in one paper. Section A.
So you arrange your section,
One paper.
one at the top, one at the bottom.
Okay.
And follow the scale, right? Prof and Doctor. The scale 150.
Huh?
Follow the scale, right?
Sorry?
Follow the
Yes,
scale, right?
yes,
150.
Yes. Follow the scale. Follow the scale of that sub plan.
Yes.
Don't worry. There's a lot more to be taught. Actually, there's more sophisticated thing, more complex things to talk about drawing and also about design. But I think we guys design. I think I've shared a lot already up to you so far now. But when it comes to the next project, there'll be more slightly more complex things with regards to drawing. Right? But as for now, it's sufficient enough for you to know enough for you to present legible drawing. Legible means able to quite a comprehensive drawing, following most of the convention, for example, and so on and so on. That should be enough already. Okay, anything else?
Hello. So today we need to do the site plan and the section, right?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like I said, do not color it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, 2D elevation.
For both, right?
No elevation, section.
Section, yeah, 2D.
There's no elevation. There is elevation drawing, but I'll talk about that later on. Two sections and one site plan.
Okay.
Right, when you draw this, make sure everyone has a what is it at the bottom?
Title block.
Title block. And the title block must be drawn, must be written the way Dr. Hisham has taught you. Proper A, B, proper Isfar, I is properly drawn.
In architectural
Yes. So can I just confirm with everyone on Monday the 13th? Okay, the 13th. So you will show us, or you will have a finalized but not colored site plan. Okay.
And section.
Then, yes, and two section draft lah, you say. Okay, not finalized yet lah, because that will be the
in pencil, everyone. In pencil, if you like. In pencil.
In pencil, yeah.
Right. Once it's okay, then you may want to still stick with the pencil drawing and then color it, or you want to draw a line on top of that pencil. Up to you. But you know that it's properly drawn, it's correctly drawn, following the conventions. You're cutting it the right way, and all this kind of thing. You Yes, more Faiz, you want to say something?
Yes, that's include for the space student the next Monday.
Boleh tak agaknya kalau Faiz? Boleh tak? Kalau minta.
Monday, I boleh
Bukan.
tengok.
Mak Isnin satu lagi kan? Mak Isnin 13 kan?
Nanti. Kalau boleh
No,
buat,
no.
kalau nanti. Okay, Rawan, wait a minute, Rawan.
yeah.
If space students can do it, I'll be very, very grateful.
Oh.
Space students on Sunday lah kan, Cik Din? Next, maksudnya bukan this
Sunday.
next Sunday.
Okay.
Boleh ke?
Boleh?
Cuba.
You show us what you have lah. You try to show what you have.
Before Sunday, then I send personal to Cheden on Dr.
boleh.
Hana dulu.
Kita orang
Because if we can do that, it will help us a lot, regarding us trying to manage between the program in space and also with Perdana students.
But we need to amend the site plan first, right, Prof?
Of course.
Yes.
Konsep kan?
Alah, memang tak boleh buat satu hari malam ni.
InsyaAllah, Prof.
Saya dah draw dah tu you. Apa lagi nak tu?
Boleh. InsyaAllah, Prof.
By
Boleh.
next week sepatutnya site plan tu dah finalize lah.
Dah finalize. Kami dah bagi idea dah sebenarnya. In fact, dah boleh finalize dah tu. My.
Yes. Hang on. Let me see Rawan's question. The box of info is called a title block. Okay, Rawan, I'm referring to your question. Okay, and yes, you if you refer to the brief, the scale is the same, 1 to 50.
What's the question, Anna?
No, Rawan is asking the session has the same scale and
Yeah, it must be the same scale.
So for the next class, we have to do the sections. Yeah.
yes, 2 sections.
Why I'm laughing, Rawan? Why you know why I'm laughing? Use
Why?
the word we have to. Come on, we are not forcing you to do it.
No. We have to mean like we're students.
Why don't you say
This is our assignment.
by Monday we draw sections and plan?
By Monday?
Why
Okay.
do you have to use the word
Sections.
have to?
Okay. I
Be very
want
careful
to.
with
I
your
want.
words
I
to
want to
everyone.
make the sections.
You have to. Dr. Anna and Dr. Sanuddin is forcing us to draw this. No, you don't have to
I
draw
want
this. You
to.
don't want to. But say, okay, Dr. Anna, we draw this section and 2 sections on coming Monday. Okay, that's the right way of asking.
Yeah, we will. Okay.
I'm just, but I'm not actually. I'm joking, but also, but not joking as well, because we have to be proper with our English.
Yeah.
Not only for you, but also for everyone. For example, when your mom asks you to wash your dishes, I have to wash the dishes. When your mom knows your English, like I was like, okay, Rawan, if you don't want to help me, okay, fine, you go and play. So use the word have to. Right? Something like that. So be careful about your English.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, Rawan, but your English is much better than mine. I'm just.
No.
No joke. All right. Okay. Anyone else, please? It's already 4:07.
Doctor, can
Who's
I
that?
know?
Okay, yeah.
Can I know? Is it we can get the recording for morning section?
Yeah, you can ask Dr. Hannah or maybe Isfar. I don't know.
Azrul
Oh,
Azrul nanti share.
Azrul.
Azrul
I
nanti share
remember
kat
he
saya.
was recording only the end, so I don't think that he has the recording.
He
thought that
recorded using a different device.
I
Ah.
asked the base students already to
Yes,
share it with.
I recorded already. I sent to Ifan.
Okay. Thank you.
To the group.
Oh, Azrul sent to Isfar already.
No, not yet.
Could
Not
you
yet.
please
I will
send
send it
it
later.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Azrul, you have my email, right?
Just everyone on Sunday, the first year students here, you have the class the whole day on Sundays. Do you have the class whole day, everyone? The first year student in Skudai.
No.
For local student is morning only, I think.
Morning only.
For local student.
Until what time to what time?
12, I think.
Until 12.
Yes.
Sorry, what time to what time?
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
Yes.
And then you're free. You're free between until from morning till 10 and then 12 until evening.
Yeah, but I think internationals.
Yeah. I'm talking about local. International students on Sunday. Rawan and Isfar.
Yes.
What do you have on Sundays?
On
What
Sundays.
classes?
Yeah, Sundays we have a Malay class. Malay class.
What time? What time to what time?
We have it at I think I
Today?
will confirm again with the
This one?
Yeah.
You're asking about today, yeah?
No, on any Sundays,
No,
any Sundays.
on Sunday
It's
the Malay
11 a.m.
class.
11 a.m.
11
11
a.m.
a.m.
Yeah.
What? From 11 till afternoon.
Uh,
Up till
yeah, from 11 till 1 p.m.
And after that?
After
After that?
we don't have anything, but
we are
it's
free.
sent to kids, but yeah,
And you don't have anything between 9 and 11.
between 9 and, we don't have anything between 9 and 11.
So you don't have
Yeah.
anything between 9 and 11. You don't have anything 1 until late evening. The evening.
Yep, nothing.
Wait, you should, can I check?
No, we don't have anything on
Yeah, we
Sunday.
don't have
Because
afternoon
Hannah, I
class.
was just wondering, Hannah,
Yeah.
because I find the getting these two groups together is very, very useful and beneficial.
Very
Really,
convenient.
really.
Yeah. Mm.
I was just wondering if it's possible, really. But of course, this requires, you can complain to Dr. Sakura. I said, Dr. Sandrine and Dr. Hannah is forcing us to do some extra hours in class, for example, right? But I think it would be good, for both groups for them to be formed in one studio. Of course, apart from us, me and Dr. Hannah, easy to manage. We don't have to do this twice, the same thing twice in the same week. But quite even I think because I think it helps each other actually. Because the seniors here, the so-called seniors, if you like, in the space, they have something to share with you, and also the people who are in the Pradana group also can have something shared with the seniors and the space students, for example. So I was thinking, this is just a thinking. Maybe I will have a chat with Dr. Hannah later on about this. The possibility of maybe the hours that you are free on Sundays, you can join with the space on Sundays, students. Of course, the Monday we still have a class, but maybe the class on Monday can be a bit shorter because we've taken that the time on the Sunday. Will that be all right?
Yeah.
No, you want to get away from me on Sunday? Say no, I've seen it for you on Sunday, on Monday, but not on Sunday again today. Okay, Rama asking from what time? Okay, we'll decide this later on because we still got we can meet again on Monday or Sunday later on. We can talk about this in detail. This is just a thought that crossed my mind. Because I find that maybe because sometimes the space students if they're seen as part of the bigger Pradana group, for example, then they also to be inspired, by doing things. I think so anyway. Because I don't want maybe they feel they are almost like isolated, segregated away from everything. We don't want that to happen. But to work together, it'll be very, very brilliant. Because this was suggested by the director, Dr. Sapura, of our school. If it's possible, Of course, if you partially agree, we don't have to do this every Sunday. We can go back to our normal time schedule, but maybe we do at certain times, for example.
Or maybe bi-weekly.
Sorry?
Or maybe bi-weekly ataupun on
yeah.
lecture inputs.
Maybe when there's certain times when we need to have an input, for example, then we can bring them together. Or maybe when there's a certain critical period during the process of the progress of the work, where we need to put them together, then we call them in. You'll see how things goes. It doesn't have to be the whole day. It could be just 2 hours, for example, in the morning or 2 hours in the afternoon. Okay? Because sometimes that's all you need, really. Isn't it? 2 hours?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
And it could really, if you can spend 2 hours on Sunday, for example, which is like the 2 hours you spend on any Monday, then we may not even have to have a studio on Monday. But obviously we should have. But you still, we still want to have another studio. Okay, fine, because you want to meet, let's say, for example, in 2 hours on the Sunday, I can only meet 5 students. But another students also want to see me. Okay, we can do that on Monday, no problem. Right, but anyway, this is just me, an old man, thinking about the possible way of how to make things a bit more lively. How can we have a kind of a congregation of the senior staff, senior students, senior students, and also the junior students together. After you're doing the same thing, you're doing anything different, the same thing. Okay, anyway, I don't talk too much about. Okay, sorry so much. Okay, anything else, everyone? So I'll share this PDF slide on my slide to all of you afterwards.
Thanks,
Cik
Prof.
Din share pada dua-dua grup perdana and juga
Okay.
space.
Alright, yeah. Ataupun saya hantar pada anak forward dia orang je lah.
Boleh.
Okay, no, thanks for that. Alright guys, thank you very much. I'll
Alright.
see you when I see you. So perdana students, all drawings to be shown, sections and elevations on Monday, and space students on Sunday.
Noted, Prof.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, if you
Yes.
ask me really, most of you actually, you have more or less finalized your work, you know. Really, if there are any changes, for example, it's just matter of tweaking, you know, it's tweaking here and there, for example, and then in fact tomorrow you can start drawing already.
Right.
But maybe 3 or 4 maybe that requires, you know, some a bit more work on that one. But I've basically had to draw already for you. Just have to kind of, you know, follow or adopt and adapt what I've just drawn for you on your work, and then you can start your work already.
Right.
Azrul,
Ya saya.
Azrul apa nak tanya lah?
Tak ada, Prof. Noted.
Alright guys, thank you very much for your attention and for your presence, and I hope I and Dr. Hana and also Madam Ida has given you sufficient preparation for your coming tasks, and hopefully we look forward to a very good job, even though it's just black and white, but probably drawn. Okay guys, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning and the best of luck to everyone.
Thank you, Dr.
Apa Cik Din?
Cik Din.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hana.
Thank you, Dr. Hana.
Kak Cibai.
Marah now.
Tak guna. Tak guna. Saya tak guna.